Hello, everybody, and welcome to Monday Night Reads Vault-a-thon edition. So it is day one of Vault-a-thon, which was created by Margaret, which I will let her tell you about it here in a minute. But these are the lovely co-hosts for the week. So you'll probably see us around here tonight. We're doing Twitter sprints all through the week. We're doing a live show on Margaret's channel on Sunday night. We're doing a watch along. She'll give you the details because I don't remember them. So anyways, welcome. We're going to be doing reading sprints for about an hour and a half or so. We'll see how it goes. And so Margaret, why don't you start us off?
I will start you off. Hi, I'm Margaret. I am the the founder of Vault-a-thon. I don't know. What do you even call the person that starts a readathon? But I started it last September, and every round we pick a different Disney movie and then pair it with a group book. This round's group book is Saving Lucas Biggs, and the movie that we're going to be watching on Saturday is Meet the Robinsons. That's Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can join us on the Vaultathon Twitter by tweeting, what was it I came up with? MTR Vault-along. That's just how we do things with that. And it's fun. I try and make it as chill as possible. If you read the group book, you've read all of the books that you need. It hits all of the book-related prompts. You can also be extra like I am and try and read a book for each prompt. I did it once. I haven't done it again. But that's it. Outside of Disney stuff, you can also see me just in general talking about fantasy and sci-fi and apparently contemporaries now. I've read a lot of those recently. And politics, because I can't not talk about them on my channel.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I don't think some of the stuff I talk about is political, but some people seem to.
Oh, anytime I put on a political, like if I go on a rant in my blog or I talk about anything in a wrap up, like I will almost always get at least 4 or 5 dislikes and definitely lose subscribers. But like, if you don't want to, like, I'm sorry, if you're not going to listen to that, I don't really.
Every time I mention race or feminism, which I do quite often, especially in my wrap ups, I lose at least 1 subscriber. I'm like, who did you think you were following?
Right. Exactly. But I mean, the thing is like this the time and the place to be talking about those things. Yeah. And I think that that's important. So if, like, I don't know. That's just my opinion though. All right. Christine, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Christine. I'm from the other Christine that reads. I also talk about books, and I don't know if I talk about politics necessarily.
Yes, you do.
No. I have political stances, but I don't talk about politics. I talk about like theory and like ethics.
You talk about social issues that people make political.
And race and history is political. We're going to be honest.
That's true. This is the current situation in the House of the Parliament in Canada. I don't know, House of Commons. Right. That's what I'm not sure talking about. I
think you probably talk more about American politics than Canadian politics.
That's because America's going to burn the world down.
Yeah. I also talk about dogs. I have lots of opinions on dogs and TV shows and She-Ra and
lots of She-Ra.
The interesting comment or thing is that I actually met Margaret and Christine during round 1 of Vault-a-thon.
Yes.
Margaret and I had met at BookCon, but we weren't really close. And
I think we dated each other.
Yeah. And then Christine was one of the hosts for that as well. And that's how I met Christine.
And this is my sister.
Hello.
Hello, Jamie.
Their names are on the screen, so I'm not going to introduce them. Okay. Hello, everyone.
All right, Bree, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Bree, and I talk about books, obviously. We all say that. We all talk about books. Sometimes when I actually get videos up. No shade to myself. I talk about planners and coffee and my dog and my family, and I just kind of hang out on the internet. And
how have we not been best friends before? Like literally all of my things.
You know, the universe was just waiting for the right moment. That's
the moment is now.
Now.
It was bound to happen because obviously Bree was is a returning host from, was it round 2? I think you were Treasure Planet, right?
No, it was round 3.
3, okay, round 3. Yes, that's right, because we were doing
Atlantis.
Yeah, and we did Twins the Dreamer.
Yes.
And
which best book to movie pairing I have done yet.
It was so good. Like
Christine.
Heaven.
Like theme wise, Christine, not necessarily whether the book or the movie is the best.
Perfect though.
A lot, but
Oh my God.
This has just been basically me as an adult going back to movies that I loved as a child and going, oh boy, I didn't notice that was a problem.
I've never seen Meet the Robinsons, so I'm gonna have like no nostalgia.
Christine, I can't wait to see your reaction to this movie because I was thinking about it as I was watching Meet the Robinsons, going, we'll get into that though in the live show, but I was thinking about what your reaction would be.
All right, so what is everybody reading tonight?
I am reading the group book, Saving Lucas Pigs, and then I'm also gonna be trying to finish Stamped from the Beginning by Dr. Kendi.
I am reading Saving Lucas Biggs. I'm going to try and get through today and tomorrow's sections so I can get those, like, start working on the Goodreads for those, like actually conversing with people. And then if I get through those, I'm going to pick up The Color of Law by Richard Rothstein.
I am the odd man out, I guess. I wasn't planning on picking up Saving Lucas Biggs yet, but I might just have to since everybody else. I might even join the party, but I was going to read Amy Rogers' Epic Detour by Morgan Matson. I'm doing this one for the pairs up or buddies with like a friend situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's basically the entire plot. Yep. I mean, sure, it's supposed to like probably turn into a romance, but like, okay, the beginning they're just friends.
Those are the best kinds of team ups,
right? Yeah. I'm reading the group book too. I'm gonna try to finish it, like not tonight, but definitely by tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Then I can, like, it's the middle grade
and I'm
pretty fast. Oh, right. Okay. Well, normally we do 20-minute timers, or I'm gonna do one 10-minute timer because this is the only Disney one I can find.
Aww.
So, I found a 20-minute Star Wars one, so we'll do that one next.
Why aren't we doing the Baby Yoda one?
Because it's only 5 minutes. It's only 5 minutes. Okay. I saw that one and I was like, oh, yes. Oh, dang it. It doesn't work. All right. Well, everybody remember to mute yourself and we'll be back in 10 minutes. And we're back.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. How did we do?
I read 4 pages. My parents came home in the middle of it, so I went to say hi to them. I said hi to one of them.
Hi,
My mother was outside. I was like, I'll talk to you later.
12 pages? Yes. I'm in the middle of chapter 3.
Yeah.
I don't know what the actual breakdown is for the Goodreads group. I had to check that.
1 to 3 is tonight. 4 to 7 is tomorrow.
I
8 to 10 is
finished chapter 3.
Okay.
Wait, so should I stop reading?
Well,
if you want to keep up with the Goodreads group, like do it only in those bites, you can. Or you could just read the whole thing and chat in those discussion boards as soon as I put them up.
You know what?
Tonight.
I'm just going to read the whole thing. And then I won't do any spoilers because I'll remember now. I'll remember that it ended with Grandpa being like, let me tell you a story. So that's...
Yeah. I mean, you could always just, like, before you go on the Goodreads group, just, like, flip through the chapters, like, flip to the end of that section's chapter to remind yourself what...
Baby, I have no idea.
She has a master's degree. She remembers things.
Yeah, I never studied once.
That was me in college.
I also didn't have a test during my master's degree. Like, not one test, so, you know.
There's just a lot of
to do with it.
I miss school.
I miss school so much, Margaret. This is the first time in 20 years I haven't been in school.
I mostly just miss college because you could choose what you were doing.
Right.
And, like, you could do things that interested you. Like, granted, I had to read The Mill on the Floss, which is one of my least favorite books of all time. But I also got to read, like, The Moonstone or something in that class, too. And I loved The Moonstone.
Nobody's giving me A's anymore.
I will give you an A, Christine.
Thanks.
Thanks.
When I finally get my stamps, I have to go reorder them because for some reason the order didn't go through. But when I finally get my stamps and my international stamps, I will send you a big ol' red A.
Yes.
That doesn't mean what you think it means, Margaret.
Just the A.
That is exactly the reference I was making.
Great. How's your book?
It's good. I got like 10 pages, but to be fair, like part of it was also like the report card thing at the beginning, and then like part of it was an email, and then the trip route, and then we got to the real pages after all that. So I feel like take that with a grain of salt. It wasn't really that I was reading that fast.
That's why reading something like in verse is always nice during a readathon because it like goes so fast.
That is like how I live my life. I'm like, I have a list, and it's like a reread, something in verse, an audiobook, a graphic novel or a manga. Like those are the go-to things.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If something doesn't have an audiobook, it's not going in a readathon. Because
None of the books that I have. I'm gonna have to actually log into my Audible to get the audiobook for Winterwood.
do you have Scribd? I think it's on there.
It's not on Scribd anymore. Because I thought so too. It's on as an ebook. I'm like, if I end up absolutely hating it, I can always return it.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's the one nice thing about Audible.
Yeah. So it's not on Hoopla. It's not on Overdrive.
Hoopla is honestly like it's at least mine is like terrible, and I don't know if it's like I get 8 a month, but I don't know. It's not connected to the rest of Hoopla because somebody will be like,
"Oh, what your library is."
Hoopla. Well, I thought it was like as long as you subscribe to it, like you could get every book. But someone's like, "Oh yeah, this book's on Hoopla," and I was like, "Not Utah, because it's a clear book.
It's not your library."
Yeah, no.
Like, that's why I didn't get Hoopla before, because basically the same stuff that I have, and that's why I don't have Libby, because the same stuff I have in Overdrive, I can get or get in Libby. I have an Overdrive. In Overdrive, it's easier, or at least I haven't been able to figure out how to request titles in Libby.
Yeah. Oh, in Libby, yeah. Libby and Overdrive are like the same thing.
So.
Yeah, no, basically if a book is queer and a new release, it's not in a Utah library.
Shocker.
I know, right? Despite me requesting them. They just like sit in the request. They don't listen to it. It's great.
It's like the opposite of Ontario, where in Ontario, it's really big for them to be like, look, we got it. We did it.
Oh, no.
That's like my city. My city painted its crosswalks. I mean, its crosswalks rainbows.
Nice.
I'm lucky. I mean, I live like 30 minutes away from the Scientology capital of Florida, but we're a pretty liberal area.
Right.
So our libraries, you can get like between all of the branches in the county, you can get pretty much anything.
That's good.
So.
Yeah, no, not in Utah. You love my state.
Because it's the Mormons.
I love the state. I don't love the church in the state.
What is it? Jacksonville. I have heard things about the Baptists there.
That doesn't surprise me.
They have a stranglehold on the city, supposedly. Like, there are so many things that you're not allowed to do because it's run by the Baptists.
Doesn't surprise me.
Which is probably not a nice thing for me to say, because I've known some lovely Baptists, but I
was raised Baptist.
Christian dominionism is just a curse.
True.
I'm sorry, I made it political.
Think about who is in this chat. We all do that. Shall we just have a reading of the middle grade books?
I just don't like it when people use my religion to harm other people. Like, that's not how it should be.
Exactly.
That's a fair thing to be angry about, yeah.
I know, right? Well, I like what a lot of people are like, they don't have a problem with, Christianity or, insert X religion here. It's the people in that religion that generally, yeah.
See, I think that it's the overarching structures that are the issue, and the people, if they were not feeding into and being fed into by some of those structures, or if they were less strict structures and they were more open, we would have less issues. Because, I was listening to a podcast, and the woman he was interviewing was a Sikh woman, and she was talking like Jesus talks, and I'm like, how? This is what we should be,
right?
Or I think maybe it's Sikh. I'm not entirely sure. She was pronouncing it differently than I pronounced it my entire life, but it's not my religion. So, anyways, but I was just like, she's like, literally, that could have come out of Jesus's mouth, and if Christians don't, why is she sounding like that when Christians sound so far off from it? I guess.
Yeah. A good moment of clarity there.
Yep. Okay, we're gonna do a Star Wars timer now because that's the most Disney thing I can find that is 20 minutes.
Nice. I like it.
They had a Baby Yoda one, but it was only 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
It's like too short for me to get into a book.
Yeah, no, you can't do a book in 5 minutes. Even if you're listening on 2 times speed, you're like, wait, what?
Like nothing happened.
Exactly. All right. Well, remember to mute yourselves, and we will see you back in 20 minutes.
Bye.
You saw that?
That was intense.
I had a friend that was going to do that, but I didn't know. That was kind of great.
Oh my gosh! That was something.
That was the Death Star being blown up, is what it was.
It's not like I haven't seen the movie before, but I was still like, wow.
That's funny. All right, how'd that go?
That is, yeah.
I think I got like.
I got to page
Nice.
23.
All right, I'm on page 74.
I read.
We just found out the grandfather's name is Joshua, and I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be a troublemaker.
I read all of chapter 4 and started chapter 5.
I
got to page
on,
20.
I like just started chapter 6.
Nice.
I spent a good portion, like at least a third of that, trying to decide how I want to change how I'm annotating. Like just sitting there staring at the page, trying to make decisions.
You'll appreciate this brief.
I do too.
Look how close I am to the bottom with my tabs.
Oh,
that's impressive.
I haven't done it yet, but I do a key in the front, which I should probably do.
I'm always curious to see how people annotate their books. I do the same thing for every single book, at least every fiction book, because then I don't have to do like the key or whatever.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I tried to, but like as I change the way that I want to write up my reviews, I change the way that I want to do my annotations. And like right now I'm kind of in this like in between of like doing my tabs because I'll use where are they? There's I'm using them as a bookmark. I use my color tabs, but I also like there are certain things like trigger warnings and representation that I use up like a lot more quickly.
Right.
Colors, and so I want to just like list them. So I like started doing that, but I'm not really sure that I'm like happy with it. So I'm just
that makes sense.
trying to make decisions how I want to do it. Because like I just finished one book and now I'm starting another one, and I feel like every time I start a new book, it's like okay, now's the time. If I'm going to make a change, now's the time.
I had to go get one.
So I spent like the first 15 pages trying to figure it out.
So did I do it in this one? Dang it, I did the normal annotation in this one. Okay. So I usually have a couple of tabs that kind of stay the same, like my humor tab, and like my observations and like my ship tab and my quotes tab. They all stay the same color, around the same. But like I do a guide at the beginning. I haven't put the tabs in yet, but I do a guide at the beginning of what each color means. So that gives me the option to switch around the colors if I see that I'm using one a little bit more. So like I come out of, and it also gives me like, as I'm reading the book, it gives me the ability to change it up to fit that specific book. Cause I tried doing it where all of them had the same thing. Cause I have it written actually what the original colors were on my highlighter. But then I kept finding that they weren't quite fitting what I wanted. And so now I'll usually have a couple of highlighters that are like the main character instead of just one that's about character stuff.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like with Pride and Prejudice, I had one, I think, for ship moments, for quotes, for Elizabeth. And then I had one just for specifically for writing style, which is a color, something I don't usually do. Right. Usually ship, quotes, and humor are always the same color. And then the other stuff I'll change up as I go, depending on the character, like yellow. What?
I never really, it's for me like I'm annotating this because I want to use it for my PhD someday. Like that's essentially why I'm annotating it. So it's mostly just like it's all tabbed for selfish reasons. Like, how can this help me later? That's why it's tabbed. I don't know.
See, mine are almost always snarky observations or quotes or things that I think are important for this story. Like this here says, Annabeth would never look down on anyone for not knowing something. I'm contradicting Briarden about his own character.
Is that true?
It is in fact true. Like, if you read the first book, Annabeth is always so excited to teach people things. She loves it. And it was more that a character, she was happy that a character wasn't intimidated by her smartness than that.
Right.
So, if you haven't read the books, Christine, you don't get to say anything. What?
I did like twice.
I'm waiting for Margaret to do a round of Vault-a-thon with the Rick Riordan book as the group book. She's just gonna like indoctrinate us to Rick Riordan.
It was just like when
maybe
I was
get to Hercules.
Then they came out, I read them then, and I haven't reread them because I'm over my Greek goddess phase. Okay, I went through it. I went through it hard. I went through it very, very hard, and now I need to not put myself in that place again.
See, I've been obsessed with Greek mythology since I was 8, and it hasn't stopped, and it only got worse. Okay, it did stop for a little bit, and then I discovered, like, that not stop, but it calmed down for a little bit, and then I just, no, it never calmed down. Never mind, I forgot. I took Greek mythology in college, but it really ramped up when I discovered the Percy Jackson series because I love these characters, and also Annabeth is a queen.
Right. No, I was always focused on like the deities themselves. So like, I was like, yeah. Ooh, Apollo. Wow. I'm not gonna get into it, but we're not getting back. I'm not going to
I just read The Trials of Apollo, and he is so insufferable for the first 2/3 of the book. I was like, I support choking this character. I think Christine just unfriended me.
Never mind, we're not doing this anymore.
No, that's okay. I'm just not going to talk about Greek stuff for now.
It's fine. We can talk about Greek stuff some other time because I like talking about Greek stuff.
But wouldn't it be cool to name a dog Delphi?
What?
To name a dog Delphi? That'd be cool, right?
There you go.
That's what the Trials of Apollo series is about, is Delphi, the Oracle at Delphi, sort of.
I'm just thinking, like, after my D-dog, she could be Delphi.
There you go.
That would be a good dog name.
Why are we already talking about this? Briar's gonna live forever.
You think that's gonna stop Christine from getting more dogs?
This is true. We're the backyard now.
5 dogs. Why you stop me from getting 3?
Well, I know I'm crazy. I didn't think you were.
I feel
I just not up yet.
I feel like you just space it out so that you always have one dog that's old, one that's middle-aged, and one that's a puppy. And so you have the best of all the dog worlds.
Exactly.
And no breaks.
The best of all the dog worlds includes a puppy. Puppy.
Not a puppy, but like, that kind of where they still have all of that energy, but they do also sit on command.
Christine, do you remember puppy smell?
Every day.
Do you remember puppy smell?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
It's fine when they smell like that, but then once they get to like 4, no, not 4, but like 5 to 7 months, you're like, I actually hate you and wish you were gone. Like that age. I'm like,
that is
my dog.
He did get his teenage boyfriend.
I was like,
that's it.
Oh.
I don't remember my dog going through that phase. She was always perfect.
Are we ready for another 20 minutes?
Sure.
All right. So since that's what we do on these live streams is actually read.
Read books? What? I thought we were just gonna talk about Percy Jackson the entire time. Oh,
it's funny. I can always see people like clicking off as soon as we start talking again, and I'm like, all right, let's read again.
I'm not even.
All right. See you in 20 minutes. Let me actually put this back on.
Yeah. Oh, we get to see the things explode again.
All right. If you guys didn't see it right when it ends, things blow up.
Hey.
So I got to page 107.
Nice.
Pretty good for the hour that we've been
almost on chapter 6.
Nice. I think that's about where I'm at. Let's see. Oh no, I'm on chapter 8. Just kidding.
Margaret's on
How did
mute.
everybody do? Margaret.
Sorry. I thought I unmuted myself.
We're like talking and we're like, oh.
It's like literally every Zoom meeting.
I got to page 40, which means I'm almost done today's section, and then I'll go in the Goodreads and I'll talk in that one, and then I'll do tomorrow's section.
All right, I'm going to go into today's
Very
Goodreads
nice.
group then.
No, don't go in there yet. I haven't gone in there.
Margaret, you're supposed to do these things ahead of time.
She's just going to put first. Christine, please.
I'm surprised she didn't do that tonight. Right?
That's
didn't
stuck in Goodreads history.
Until literally, just you said that, so.
You gave her the idea.
Wait, I think I can delete comments.
I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure you can.
I got to page 30, so.
Group rule.
Bree, did you figure out how to annotate your book?
I'm still kind of trying to decide. Honestly, I just have been like kind of like circling things, underlining things that I want to like go back, and then I'm just gonna like go back after I've gotten maybe like 50 pages in and like kind of adjust. Like I added a whole 1 tab so far of like something that I've actually marked because that was like a writing thing. And I always tab those because like I have certain ones that I know I always am gonna tab. Like writing is always gonna be green. Quotes is always gonna be blue, and usually orange and yellow have to do with representation, trigger warnings, and like themes and archetypes and stuff like that. Usually,
right?
And then pink is usually just like the obscure extra note things, or like notes as I'm reading that I want to like remember a question that I had or something like that. Those kinds of things. And then the poor purple. There's 2 shades of purple because you know it's the rainbow. Obviously,
no, because you need 2 shades of purple. That's why there's 2 shades of
favorite tab.
They always end up being the ones that I haven't decided what to do with. Usually, that happens. But I'm still not sure if I'm going to stick with that method of like having all the colors assigned and then the 2 that just kind of get assigned halfway through the book.
Yeah. Right.
We don't know. We're just going with it.
Yeah, I would do yellow for quotes, orange for trigger warnings, and then like those are always the 2, and then blue is always world building, especially if it's fantasy, and then green are like plot points. So that way, like if I want to go back and I don't want, especially if it's in a series. Because then, like, I don't have to necessarily go back and reread when a new book comes out. I can flip through the green stuff.
Wow.
Oh, that's an interesting way to do it. Let's see.
And then pink is romance.
Let's see. The ones, what I have, so the darker purple is always ships. Always ships. This one is always quotes. And then this is humor. And this is usually like weird miscellaneous notes and observations that I know I want to bring up. And that leaves me these 3 to usually one is one character in the ship, the other character in the ship, and then random other characters in the, but it just depends because sometimes I switch the colors up.
You're reading so ship oriented.
Very
I am character and ship oriented. So yes. So usually
have you met Margaret?
Usually
Margaret, if you ever rename your channel or like do a rebrand, it better have the word ship in it.
Anyways, well, it's usually the characters are the main character and the love interest that you focus on. And those are the two characters that I care about the most anyways, so why not?
I always care about a side character the most. Always.
Oh, yeah. There's always... You're so weird.
I always go in there and I'm like, oh, wait!
And in this book, it is not Charlie.
You're not allowed to hate Margaret. We share a name, Christine. You're not allowed to hate her.
He did.
Just ask her, basic American.
Dumb as Charlie. Charlie's dumb.
They were just asking for a safe place to work and a good wage. American stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, historically, is that true? Is that true, Charlie? You're an idiot.
Especially, that's weird considering that I'm pretty sure Charlie would know better from what I've read about Charlie's family's background, right? And the fact that I'm pretty sure Charlie is black.
Well, I feel like she just really dumbed down. He's the lowest common denominator.
Yeah.
So that every kid reading it.
So I got that impression because I don't know that there were a lot of white sharecroppers, and Josh's dad was a sharecropper. So that was kind of my assumption.
That's what I was. Is Charlie? Oh wait, are Charlie and what's her face cousins?
I thought Josh was his grandpa, not hers.
No, Josh is her grandpa.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Ignore me.
I have no idea.
Josh is her grandpa. Because
that's what
I've met him on occasions, family dinners and stuff.
With the help of her best friend Charlie and his grandpa Josh.
Well, then it really doesn't make sense.
No, it really doesn't make sense.
Face. She's like, oh, a whole new world.
Yeah, I'm more confused because I was like, well, okay, it makes sense that her grandpa knows her time travel weird secret. But now, why does this kid's grandpa know her secrets?
Well, wait, but doesn't he oh wait, no, you haven't gotten to that chapter yet. Just kidding.
I'm on chapter 3, Brianna. Don't spoil it for me yet.
No, it's not a spoiler. It's just I don't know.
I don't know
that chapter now because I really thought that he was her grandpa. Okay.
Sure.
There's a problem with this town, and it's probably intergenerational incest. It is all I have to say.
Is it in Alabama?
As someone whose mother comes from a mining town, probably.
That's
Mm-hmm.
Small town.
I'm pretty sure that there isn't in my personal family, at least. Well, in my immediate family, definitely not my parents, and I don't think my grandparents. But
definitely not my parents. I swear.
Mama and Papa might have been cousins. I'm not sure.
All right then. Okay. So there's one of the prompts for Vault-a-thon was to try something new. So what are you guys using for that prompt?
I'm gonna do the audiobook and the ebook, and switch back and forth for the for saving Lucas Biggs. I'm gonna switch back and forth because I've heard people do that. I've just never tried it for anything.
Mm-hmm.
I've always either read it physically or read it digitally with an ebook or read it with an audiobook. I've never switched it up. Well, actually, I take that back. One time I switched back and forth between physical and ebook, but that was when I was reading It by Stephen King, and so it's
yeah, right. So sometimes it's easier to do on your phone.
So,
I don't remember because I had a plan for something I was going to do, and I was going to read to try something new. I don't remember what it was. It might end up me finally reading Tracy Chevalier's work because she's a new to me author. So
okay.
I'm okay, so my thing I said I was gonna light a building on fire, but I don't think I'm really gonna do that.
That's good. I need a house to move to, Christine.
Yeah, sorry. Jamie, I have to try something new for this readathon. What should I do?
Phone a friend.
Haven't I done? I don't know. I've done a lot, Jamie. I'm a whole.
Well, we haven't done a lot, then a lot of things are new.
Well, it's like a kid Read a kid's picture book. I was a child once. I've done that.
But you haven't done it as an adult.
There you go.
Oh my god, that sounds so.
I think I'm gonna pick something like just completely random to do like new every day because I'm vlogging.
My stepdad has Canada Goose meat in the fridge or the freezer. Maybe if I eat that.
There you go. Like I'm making Thai food tonight, and I've never done that, so that's my try something new.
My try something Medina.
I feel like I had something I was gonna do this week that I was gonna, and I can't remember for the life of me what it was now.
I'll find something and I'll put it on
the
Wait, Monday night reads with Brianna. I've never done that before.
There you go.
There we go. It's done. I cannot say that.
All right. Well, we're gonna end it here because I'm gonna go make some Thai food.
Yummy.
Yeah, it's one of my dinner subscription box meals.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah. So anyways, thank you guys all for joining us. We will be back again. Well, someone will be joining me next week for the start of Banned Books Week. Yes. So anyways, thank you all, and we'll see you next time.